Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to start by singing What a Mighty God We Serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. Now we're going to sing deep and wide. Deep and wide. Deep and wide, deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep, wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep.
Good morning, kiddos. This morning we're going to be reading from Proverbs 18. We're going to read verse 24, and then we're going to flip over to 1 Samuel 18, and we're going to read verses 1 through 5. Proverbs 18:24 says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." Now we're going to flip over to 1 Samuel. Verse 1, "And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day, and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul sent him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants."
Good morning, boys and girls. This morning I'm really tired, but I'm awake, and what I really need to do is get ready for church. And so, I have some things that I usually use in the morning. Things that, just hair products and different things, and so I'm just gonna show you how to get ready in the morning, So the first thing you're gonna do is brush your hair, and, brush your hair just like that, and just get it all ready for whatever you're gonna do, and then you're gonna use let me see here. The first thing is you're going to use the mousse. Oh yes, mousse. Not like mousse in the Alaska. It's the mousse that it's like a pie, and so you use that mousse, and you put them on your you lather it up just like this, and you put it in your hair, and you just smooth it around, make sure you get every little hair just like that, and yes, it feels so good. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure your hair looks real good, just like this. Oh, and you're gonna put some more. You're gonna get some more, and then you're gonna put it in your hair, and just like this. And make sure you get enough, and it smells real good. It's got a really strong smell, and you're gonna put some in your hair. Make sure you get it on your forehead as well. Yes, so there you go. So that's mousse, ladies and gentlemen. That is, boys and girls. This is mousse. That's how you get your very good hairdo. All right. So next step here is what do we have? What do we? We have, don't poke yourself in the nose with the hair gel. That is a very bad idea. So we have some gel here. So on top of mousse, we have gel, and gel is, it's one of mousse's cousins. So you're going to put your gel on your head. You can lather it on your hands, and, the more you put, the more strong the hold is, and so your hair can get very, well, I guess if you have extra, right? But on your shirt, and there we go. So I think we're done with that. I think I need some sort of like hairspray to make the hold even stronger, so we can have plastic. Let's see here. plastic hair. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There we go. Actually, yes. Okay, so 3 hair products. There we go. Now I look awesome. What do you think? Rate me. Give me 5 stars. All right. Now I need to make sure I push my hair in the right direction. So I'm going to just comb. We forgot a comb. Where's my comb? Do I have a comb? Oh, I don't have a comb. Oh my, that's terrible. All right. Well, I guess I will just push it with my hands. I will use my hands as a comb, and just make my hair look really nice. Yes, just like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, step 2 is you're going to use get yourself a razor. You need to shave in the morning before church. You need to shave. Make sure no. Hands, obey me, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to get yourself some shaving cream, and you're going to get some shaving cream, yes, and oh yeah, just like that. You're going to lather it up real good, and you're going to put it all over your chin, and you're just going to oh, okay, not quite that high. You just want to put it on your face, so that way you can shave your face, and yeah, and if you have any extra, just make sure you wipe it somewhere where it can evaporate or whatever. Yeah, okay. So wipe it on your neck or your ear or anywhere you can find an extra space. And what you're going to do is everywhere there's shaving cream, you're going to use your razor to shave the hair. So here we go. Let's see if I can get my chin really good. Yes. What do you think? Would you hire me at a hair salon? I don't know. Okay. So make sure you don't miss and get any hair that is, yes, make sure you get any hair, or make sure you don't miss and get hair that is on top of your head. That would not be good. That would not be, oh wow, yeah, don't shave your eyeball either. That's very bad. You need your eyeballs to see clearly. So anyways, now what you're going to do is you're going to wipe your razor on your shirt, and then make sure you clean your hands. Man, you need to wash your hands with your shirt because we don't have a sink in this bathroom. So we're going to just make sure you clean that off there very clearly. And now I think the final step is we just need some cologne. So we make sure we smell good. Okay, so where's that is not the cologne. That is also not the cologne. Can we? It's somewhere. No, it's on my left. I can't reach it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh! Here we go. Have a little help. I think you might have to twist the top a little bit. Just the other way. I think. Oh! Here we go. To get some armpits. Oh! Here we go. That's a left one and then the right one. If we can get it to work. Oh, just forget it. Hey, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is how you get ready in the morning for church. So now that we're ready, let's go to the lesson.
Good morning, kids. I hope you've enjoyed so far our lesson this morning. I hope you enjoyed our fun little skit with Brother Ben. He's now all ready to go for the day. He is cleaned up and ready to go. But we're going to talk about the lesson now that Miss Page just read for us out of 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1 through 5. We learned about Jonathan and David. And the lesson this morning is going to be on friendship, what it means to be a friend. We read Proverbs 18:24, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. I got to thinking this week, what is a friend? If I had to describe a friend, how would I describe them? Who could I look at in the Bible that was a friend? The first people that popped into my mind happened to be Jonathan and David. They were two of the closest friends that we get detailed in the Bible. A couple other people popped into mind though. You had Jonathan and David. Abraham was called the friend of God. That's an impressive title. Throughout the Bible, you find people where they were friends with other people, but the main two that stuck out to me were these two, Jonathan and David. You said, Brother Jonathan, why is that? The uniqueness of their friendship is what stuck out to me. When I looked at a friend, what I want in a friend, what does that mean? What does that look like? How do I act like a friend to somebody? Proverbs 18:24 says, a man that hath friends, somebody who has friends already, must show himself friendly, must show himself in a way that invites a friendship. The Bible also talks about iron sharpeneth iron, so the countenance of a friend sharpeneth the countenance of a friend. You have places in the Bible where it talks a lot about friendship. A lot of times we get a friendship and we think it's something that's trivial. Oh, they're my friend. But biblical friendship was something that was taken seriously. Jonathan took his friendship with David very seriously. It says, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Jonathan took the friendship to a next level. He didn't just care about David as, oh, he's my friend. He loved Jonathan, or Jonathan loved David. He took it a step further to show. He took off his robes, he took off his garments, he took off his sword, his bow, and he hands it to David, which was significant in that day and age. It would have shown that Jonathan really did love this guy. That Jonathan was laying down himself, putting himself aside for David. First thing I see about the friendship as I read these first 5 verses is Jonathan's friendship towards David and vice versa was a selfless friendship. It had nothing to do with Jonathan himself, or it had nothing to do with David himself. It had to do with a combination of both of them being selfless towards the other one. They were always deferring for one another. Jonathan takes off his robes, his garments. He was the prince. He was the next king, and he takes it off and says, I'm giving it over to David. Jonathan knew that it wasn't about him. It was about, he laid down his own self, his own life. He said, not my needs, not my wants, but David. Put David ahead of me. So their friendship was selfless. You say, how do I be selfless? Do I give the people around me my clothes? Not necessarily, no. But you do have a mentality. It's a mentality. You don't think about it, what I get out of the friendship, what I get from this. If I'm friends with so-and-so, I get to play with their toys. That's not the way you think about a friendship. A friendship has to be in the thought of, it's not about me, it's about them. What can I do to serve them? That leads us to our next point. Their friendship was a friendship of servitude. They make a covenant. They made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant. That covenant would last for generations to come. David and Jonathan made a covenant that they would not kill one another. They would not do any harm to each other. And when it comes down to it, David fulfills that promise with Mephibosheth. You say Mephibosheth. Who? Mephibosheth was one of Jonathan's descendants that David takes care of later on in the Bible we find out about. So their friendship wasn't just, it was selfless. It was a selfless friendship. It was a lasting friendship. Their friendship wasn't just one that came and went. Their friendship lasted for years. For a length of time, they were those type of people that when they were together, they were the best of friends, and when they were apart, they were the best of friends. You asked David, who's your best friend? He would have said Jonathan. You asked Jonathan, who's your best friend? He would have said David. They were a selfless friendship. It was a limitless friendship. You say limitless. What does that mean? It didn't have boundaries. They were the type of friends that could talk about anything and everything. They were close. They could share anything with one another. And I don't think that every friendship is like that. You have those friends that are just super close to you. You have friends that you can share things with that you can't share with others, and I get that. But a friendship, at the bare minimum, has to be selfless. It has to be a concern for the other person. You have to put the needs of somebody else ahead of yours, which takes humility, which takes humbling of your own self to put your pride aside, put your wants, your desires aside, and want what the other person wants. Jonathan knows that David's going to be the next king. He knows it. You find out in a few chapters that Jonathan even says, you're going to be the next king. And he puts himself aside. He says, you know what? It's not about me. It's about you. And David did the same thing. David at times put himself aside for Jonathan. It was a friendship that worked together. It was a cohesive union between the two of them as they were friends back and forth and back and forth. You say, now, that's a biblical story about two people in the Bible we find that are friends. So how do you apply this to your own life today? Well, you be selfless. You say, how do I be selfless? How do I be somebody that's selfless? For instance, when you're in junior church and you're playing with the toys that we have in junior church, and one of the little kids says, oh, I really want to play with that car right there, and you really want to too, you say, okay, you can play with it. You can play with that toy. I'm not going to force myself or I'm not going to create an issue with somebody just because I want it. You take the I out of the things you're doing, and you become selfless with it. You be there for the person that needs you. When somebody needs somebody to shoulder to cry on, you be there for them. Somebody needs somebody to talk to, you be there for them. You talk with them. You commune with them. You have a good relationship with them. You be friendly. You say, how do you define friendly? That's a question I've asked several people over the last few days. How do you be friendly? What does it mean to be friendly? As it says in Proverbs 18:24, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. How do you be friendly? What does it look like to be friendly? Friendly is an action in a sense. You are friendly to people. You act friendly to people. You're nice, you're kind, you're sweet, you're loving, you're caring, you're compassionate. You don't go be hateful to them. That's not being friendly. Friendly is an action that we do to people. People can tell if we're a friendly person or not by the way we carry ourselves. Do you have a smile on your face? That's being friendly. That's showing that you are a friendly kind of person. Maybe having a smile on your face. Maybe being outgoing, talking to people, asking people, hey, how's your day? How are you today? Being compassionate, being concerned about others. Friendly is a way that we show ourselves. We carry our own selves. So my question to you for the remainder of this week is, are you being a friendly person? A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And I can't just stop there. I got to go to the rest of the part of that verse. And there's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And the best friend that we could ever have in the whole wide world is Jesus. And again, we go back to it. We hash on it every week. We got to pray. We got to read our Bible. We obey. But having that relationship with God and being a friend with God, God being our friend, and thinking of it as He's my friend, means so much more for your Christian life. It means so much more for you. You get to enjoy the benefits of being a friend of God. Let that sink in for a minute. I can be a friend of God. God can be my friend if I just let Him. So again, this week we're going to be friendly. We're going to be compassionate. We're going to be loving. We're going to be kind. We're going to be sweet. We're not going to be hateful. We're not going to fight with our brothers and sisters or fight with our friends or cousins or whoever else we might fight with. We're going to be friends to everyone around us.